The year is 1889. You are operating on the dusty, unforgiving edges of the American frontier. You aren't robbing trains. You aren't panning for gold in the rivers. You are stealing money, using nothing but your words, the desperation of the working class, and dirty water. But running a traveling medicine show isn't a simple one-man con. It is a highly structured, illegal syndicate. And, like any criminal empire, you start at the absolute bottom. Level 1, the scavenger. You're 14 years old. You are at the bottom. No glory, no fancy suits, no silver dollars. You are, essentially, a chemist of garbage. And your laboratory is the unforgiving wilderness. Every day, the wagon pulls over by a slow-moving creek. You grab a heavy wooden bucket and dip it into the murky brown stream. That muddy water, that is your base. You are sourcing the foundational ingredient for an entire empire. But right now, it is quite literally just pond water. You haul these heavy buckets back to the wagon, day in and day out. Your shoulders ache. Your hands are blistered from the rough wood. You watch the older guys make the real money while you're elbow deep in the mud. But you are learning the most important lesson of the 1800s frontier. Desperate people don't buy medicine, they buy hope. And you are the one fetching the raw materials to bottle that hope. No respect yet, but you are surviving. Level 2, the scraper. You're 16. You've hauled enough water to prove you won't quit, so they move you up into the wagon bed. Your new job is rebranding. The boss operated under the name Dr. Johnson, but Dr. Johnson is now a wanted man back down the valley. That name is dead. You sit in the back of the wagon with a sharp knife, scraping old labels off brown glass bottles. It's tedious, exhausting work that leaves your fingers bleeding and calloused. Once the glass is clean, you reach into a hidden compartment and pull out a stack of fresh red labels. You slap them onto the bottles with cheap glue. You are now manufacturing Dr. Thunder's Lightning Tonic. Brand new town, brand new name. But the exact same muddy water inside. You learn quickly that identity is entirely fluid in this business. When the law gets too close, you just scrape off the paper and become someone else. Level 3, the brewer. You're 19. They finally trust you with the recipe. You have absolutely no medical training, but you take those buckets of murky creek water and you get to work. First, you pull out a large sack of red cayenne pepper and dump a handful into the bucket. If the medicine doesn't burn their throat, the farmers don't think it's working. The violent burn is the proof they need to believe it's real. Next, you add a splash of molasses. Not for taste, but to give the sludge a dark, rich color so it looks like an official tonic. Then comes the secret weapon. You pull a small vial from your boot. Opium. Just a few drops into the bucket. It won't fix a broken bone. It won't cure a fever. But it will make the customers feel dreamy enough to forget they were sick in the first place. You stir the muddy sludge with a stick, funnel it into the empty bottles, and seal the lie. Level 4. The shill. You're 22. You don't ride in the wagon when you approach a new settlement. You arrive a full day early. You wear dirty clothes, rub coal dust on your face, and blend in, just another local working man. When the medicine wagon rolls into the mining camp, you stand quietly in the crowd. The pitchman starts talking. The miners look skeptical. That's your cue. You step forward, acting like a desperate customer. The pitchman hands you a bottle. The whole crowd watches as you uncork it and take a massive swig. You freeze. You cough violently. Your eyes water from the cayenne burning your throat. You wipe your mouth and yell out, "It burns! I can feel it kicking in already." The crowd roars. Because you took the first step. The psychological barrier breaks. Suddenly, everybody wants the burn. You just manipulated an entire town into emptying their pockets with a single cough. Level 5, the driver. You're 25. You are the only reason anyone in this syndicate stays out of prison or a shallow grave. Your name is Barnaby. You sit at the reins of the wagon. When you pull into a dusty town square, you light the torches on the side of the wagon. illuminating the banner, giving the crowd a show. But while the pitchman talks, your eyes never stop moving. You are the lookout. You scan the sea of exhausted workers watching for trouble. The moment the crowd parts and you spot a man in a clean suit with a metal star pinned to his chest, the sheriff, you ready the mules. When the boss gives the signal, you kick those mules into gear. The wagon tears out, leaving the confused crowd in a cloud of dust. When an angry mob eventually chases you through the camp, you whip the mules into a frenzy, you smash through wooden fences, you race across old bridges in the dark. You don't stop for dropped money. You just yell over the roar of the wind, "We're saving your lives." Level 6, the cash collector. You're 28. The wagon is swarmed. Angry, desperate miners waving cash and gold dust in your face. Your job is the intake. You stand on the edge of the wagon, handing out bottles 2 at a time, moving faster than you ever have in your life. You grab fistfuls of silver dollars, stuffing them into your pockets, your boots, and down your shirt. The collection box is so full of coins the lid won't even close. 50 bottles in 10 minutes. You can feel the weight of the silver. You can feel the energy of the crowd. But you also feel the danger. You are standing right in front of the mob. If they figure out they are buying spicy mud, you are the first one they drag off that wagon. And then the wagon hits a massive pothole. It bounces 3 feet in the air. The box, stuffed with everything you've made, flies out of your hands. Silver dollars spray everywhere, vanishing into the night. You're left scrambling on your hands and knees, scooping up sliding coins before the mob closes in. Level 7, the pitchman. You're 32. You are the face of the syndicate. You are the closer. You stand on a wooden crate, looking down at the crowd, and you know exactly how to hook them. You hold up a brown glass bottle so it catches the sunlight. You look at an exhausted miner and ask, is it the gout, or just the weight of the world making your shoulder ache? You lower your voice to a whisper, making them lean in. No fancy top hat. You roll up your sleeves. You rub a little dirt on your face. You are a friend of the working man. You tell them the company doctors want them weak, but this tonic puts iron in their blood and gives them the strength of a grizzly bear. You sell to their pain. You sell to their anger. You are a master of human psychology. 1 sip, and you promise it cures backaches and heartaches both. The silver dollars rain down. But being the face means they remember you. And in this business, being remembered is a massive liability. Level 8, the hunted boss. You're 38. You are the mastermind, the boss. But being at the top means you carry the target on your back. You've made money, but the illusion always breaks. A man in a dusty suit pushes through the front of the crowd, clutching a bottle from your last town. He tracked your wagon for 40 miles. He points a shaking finger at your face and screams, "This man is a liar, a snake. That medicine is nothing but pepper and pond water." He throws the bottle. The smell of mud hits the crowd. The mob turns violent instantly. Someone throws a rock that shatters a lantern and starts a fire. You dive over crates of glass bottles into the wagon as your driver whips the mules. The man in the suit lunges and grabs your ankle, refusing to let go, until you finally shake him loose into the dust. Your life is a constant cycle of paranoia, running in the middle of the night from the people you robbed, always looking over your shoulder. Level 9, the legitimate tycoon. You're 45. You survived the escape. You made it into the deep woods. The sun rises and you sit on the broken back of the wagon. The banner is burned away. The wheels are wobbly. You have exactly 11 cracked bottles of Dr. Thunder left. You count the money you managed to save, about $200. Your driver looks at you and asks if you're finally going to quit. Get a job on a farm. You look down at your hands. These hands don't plow, you say. These hands sell. But you are done. Done with the muddy buckets, the red pepper, and the running. You've heard about a chemist down in Atlanta cooking up a new syrup. It's dark, sweet, and fizzy. It claims to cure headaches, But the genius part is it doesn't taste like pond water. It tastes like sugar. And it contains a special cocoa leaf that makes people feel wide awake. You realize something sitting there on the broken wagon in the woods. True wealth isn't a scam. It's a monopoly on a legal product. You decide to travel to Atlanta, buy the syrup, and set up a fountain. No more fleeing towns in the middle of the night. Your customers will come to you. And they will come back every single day for another glass. Every billion-dollar industry you trust today was built on the same psychology. Selling hope to desperate people. Subscribe. Because understanding how you are manipulated is the only way to stop being the crowd reaching for the bottle. And share this with someone who still believes the label before they drink the pond water.